under Walmart, they can add it there and pay the premium on it.
Correct.
And that is cheaper than an open plan with Walmart.
Well, there's all kinds of options depending on
Yeah.
the situation
Okay.
and age.
Talk about that next week. Could be.
Okay. It's a health insurance discussion. And then we have item number 13, resolution approving the pay up request from Eastern Iowa Excavating.
Motion to approve a resolution to pay Iowa Excavating.
Do I have a second? Second by Dursky. Further discussion? It's partial payment. Hearing none, roll call vote. Trevor Dursky.
Aye.
Samantha Peterson.
Aye.
Jim Kane.
Aye.
EJ Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item number 14, discussion regarding city administrator, city clerk position. Due to the bonding coming up and by state law, we do need to have an appointed city clerk. So the idea here is to have a person appointed by name. That's a desire, and we would need to do that either. It might happen during, or it could happen during the December 17th meeting. We're looking to get something in line for the December 3rd resolution appointing a named person that particularly would have the experience with bonding, all the different processes involved in that, because they're bonding attorneys, and Maggie, a financial advisor, will be providing documents that there's a sequence to them, as well as providing the right signatures, and the city clerk would be signing those documents.
In other words, we have to get a temporary person in here, or it's going to foul up our.
Because, well, we need, we have to have a city clerk interim, and I have contacted City of Fairfax, it's Cynthia Stimson, just if she would entertain doing that. She's close by. She's very well versed with the bonding process. They do bonding every 2 years, and Maggie had suggested that too. So I'll keep you posted on what transpires there. But that's the urgent need right now. Teresa, do you have any comments about that? It was going to be an interim, and possibly they could help with some of the budgeting workload there too. I don't know how Teresa feels about that. It might depend on who it is. Teresa, do you have any?
Oh, I have no thoughts on that subject.
Okay.
What about, what about opening the temp services we considered previously? I don't know how quickly they can make bills, and we certainly don't have time to do a bunch of interviews.
Right, I wouldn't expect, and I would expect this.
I guess I'd have to ask maybe, I don't know if something's changed or whatever. I mean, I know there's a lot of paperwork when you get a bond and stuff, that clerks or your deputy clerk need to sign or whatever. I don't know if the rule has changed. It says you have to have one. I guess I don't know that. That's why I said I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, by state law, we do. That's one of the requirements in state code, is that every city has to have a clerk.
And maybe we need to revisit that with Lynch Dallas too, and make sure that we
Yes, oh yeah.
get the legal
It doesn't sound
terms,
like
so we've
it's
got
like
that
a-
in front of us.
It doesn't sound like this would it wouldn't be like an everyday job, I don't think, right? This is just
No.
like an as needed to sign documents for bonding, to review them, that type of thing, it's just as needed, so.
Correct. To get them
I think
right
like a
places.
temp service or a temp person might expect more of a,
But I
you
think,
know, more hours, I guess,
I
if
think-
I'm understanding the workload, but I don't know.
well, correct, and what Maggie was looking at too is the experience level, so that they don't have to, you might say manage it so much as what we were doing this past weekend. I mean, we had Teresa, myself, Maggie, and Amy putting information back and forth to the folks. An experienced person would know what documents to go to, where to look at that.
We're not looking at somebody in the office and it's just per task as needed.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Is it unusual to have a neighboring city
No,
be another city's official named clerk? Is that an unusual, seems a little kind of unusual, maybe not.
Not too unusual.
it's done pretty regular. If there's a net vacancy or something, until they get the vacancy filled, just because it's government, you have to be bonded and have to have the right credentials in order to do those things.
So, and there are locations where there just isn't enough workload, that two cities would use the same person.
So during this time, Graham's gonna keep, and those guys will keep pumping names to us, and I know we got all this going on, you know, we'll just do interviews as we can within it, like we were, I'm assuming that's still the case.
Correct.
The only thing that I would like to propose, or at least talk about, is I know he made some comments when he sent us about the, you know, what they're finding for payment, I mean, what they're wanting to make, is maybe take a step back, you know, we can still keep looking for the administrator, because we might find one within that budget means that we've already talked about, but maybe jump for the city clerk instead, because that budget might be a little bit cheaper, might not be the way we want to go or whatever, but at least get maybe a full-time city clerk in here and then continue to work towards the other, I don't know. I'm just trying to get those guys, somebody in the office full-time, but get this process and keep that process going. Just want your guys' thoughts. I'm just trying to get somebody in there for them.
Well, I did-
That's all I'm trying to say.
right, for this immediate need, it would not interfere with the
Process.
current work that's going on with Graham at
If
this
we-
point.
I'm just trying to throw some more names in. What I'm saying is almost like you're dual doing it. Whoever we get in first, we might feel like you get an administrator first, or we can see get a good candidate that would be more to the city clerk side that may be a little bit cheaper than the other. I'm just,
I think we need to open it up. We need work. We need to get work done. Ideally, hiring from the top down works better if you're trying to build a team. If you go from the bottom up, it doesn't, but we still going, like you said, going from the top, bottom down now to get some work done is getting to be imperative.
So
I think
for
we should do it both.
the immediate need though, if Cynthia or somebody, if we were able to name them as the clerk, and then if we did hire someone on,
yeah, then that
just
person
swap them
would,
out,
Yeah, of
whatever,
course.
that's a pretty easy process, I would think.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
that's two totally separate things. I just don't want to stop the process with Graham. I want to keep that going. I
Oh,
think that
gosh.
would be
Yeah.
insane. I know we got a lot going on. Well, okay.
No, the
No,
intent,
that
make it
will,
work.
that will continue.
So-
I think we're all hoping.
so the intent with this one is not to interfere with the hiring process, unless you wanted to, but the idea is to have a named person.
Well, it sounds like, I mean, you consider this option pretty likely to happen then? Because I only heard like one option.
Oh, no, well,
The name
I
that
would, there's several others that are what they call clerk mentors. There's a cadre that's put together by the League of Cities that are clerk mentors that do help in situations of either illness or time off or medical emergency situations. So I believe we'll find someone to do this. It's just, we started today, so.
what does that process look like, or
We'll just
are
find
you,
someone
are
that
you
would
gonna
agree.
do that? I mean, are you gonna make the calls and
I can,
contact people, or do you need help with that?
Well,
League of Cities help with that, won't they?
right,
They help provide things on a temporary basis for other cities I know.
correct.
Yeah, but they're not gonna come in knowing what to do. Like,
No, there is hand-holding, providing them what they need, but if it's a person especially familiar with the bonding side of things, provide the templates for the agendas, make sure the resolutions are appropriate, and signed, and filed back to the correct folks, notarized. It's like when you borrow money for a mortgage on a house, there's just signature after signature, sign here, this has to be completed. It's borrowed money, so the underwriters do care about that process.
So we have a meeting on the 3rd in a week. Is that when you're looking to finalize this?
Yes, hope so. It's a matter of finding someone willing to do it, but we do have the holidays coming up, and we'll certainly push that. Now, like I said, we may be able to make the appointment early on in the meeting on December 17th, and because I'll be sending out some information that there are some critical dates to hit for that bonding that are needed. December 17th is one of those, and then 2 meetings in January. That's because of the sequencing required to get the bids back from agencies, and then one of those meetings, Maggie Berger will be attending to walk through the process of selecting the appropriate award the bond seal. So,
I think to EJ's point though, I'd like to sit down with Graham and get him to widen out his search. We kind of pretty much focused him on one person. I think maybe we need to, given what we're doing now, widen it out to include both positions and see what can find out there, either or both. And
well, you may have to alter their contract.
well, what I got, and when I was looking at what he was putting out there on his resumes and stuff, was pretty much strictly administrative. He was looking for a lot of upper management experience and not so much day-to-day work kind of experience. And since we need both, like EJ says, get what we can get to get us moving forward, and then we can focus on filling the gaps later.
But again, just to put out the word to you folks that this is the work that's kind of going on as far as to find someone, and hopefully on the 3rd we can have a name to appoint with some whatever requirements they might have to make that happen.
Fairfax filled their position. Do they have any rejects that we could look at?
No.
I'm just that was out
Is,
there.
so I think we need to meet with Graham and kind of figure out the plan
See if he can be here on, what is it, when's our next meeting? Or,
a week from
yeah,
today.
see if we can be here on the 3rd.
I can reach out to him and see if that's possible.
Then also, it would fit within the agenda item. Graham had asked to consider the salary range at 120,000 for the city administrator, based on the local market. So, discussion on that item.
I think I want him to come here and pitch for that.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know, we can make that a discussion and possible action on the agenda when he's here.
I think we all probably should be here for that discussion to hear what he has to say.
All right. So moving on to item number 15 on reports, the mayor's reports. Turning my written report, but basically attended the budget meeting, budget workshops presented by Teresa and the crew from League of Cities, as well as the bonding attorneys, and also 2 different emergency management meetings. And then all those departments, all those county functions are also doing their budgets this time of year, so everybody's working through those processes just like you folks are. But I would want to say that I appreciate the work this past weekend. Teresa was out of town, and she may still have some more budget workshops, but she was traveling the state, providing information to people in other cities. She's a great resource for that. League of Cities did a great job putting on several budget workshops. I forwarded the information from that the League of Cities provides on website information there to the city council, so you can take a look at that. This was presented. We have started the tree removal. Vendor has moved some equipment into town now, and they're just waiting to get started assembling their crew to get started on that function. So the trees will start coming down first on the city right of ways and then in the parks under that contract. And been some questions entertained from Garland Construction, which is the contractor. So answering those questions. And the water tower painting has been completed. Expect an invoice from them on that project. And then the pond inlet project is also moving along. So there'll be expect future invoices on that too. So, and then you have the engineer's report as a written document packet. So are there any council member reports I'd like to mention? Okay. Moving on to future agenda item discussion topics.
Unfortunately, I can't make the December 4th water meeting anymore. I something came up at work and I'm not going to be there, be available that night anymore. I don't want to hold the conversation up. So to the extent it's recorded and available, I can review it and just take my questions directly with Nick. I'm fine doing that. So I'm not asking for a reschedule. I just won't be able to be there.
Okay.
We already talked about Graham. We got to talk to Graham soon.
Okay. So yeah, we'll try to get him on the December 3rd. I think it might work in there.
Even if we can't do that, we need an update from him on where they're at with those KPIs that we asked for.
Well, he said in his email he was going to keep us up to date,
And I
working on it.
did have a phone conversation with him today, asking if he got any further beyond that email, which just came out last evening, but he had nothing new update. One thing he mentioned was his thoughts on the salary range that would be beneficial.
I've got the employment agreements on the Fairfax website.
Oh, sure.
So it's available, it's there. It's 100,000 base. There's an allowance for vehicle, automobile. So I don't know exactly what they negotiated, but the signed agreement has a different base than whatever that he was talking about.
Okay.
That's good. I was going to ask about that. That's good.
But we can set up some things. Let's Okay, any public input for items not on the agenda? We have no public tonight, so I believe that's covered. We'll announce the next regular council meeting will be held December 3rd, 6:30 PM, and we will post that as a schedule change. Post that. It's moving it up a week, which is a little regular for people. So. All right, so with that, we have completed our work for this evening. We entertain an item.
Happy Thanksgiving weekend.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much for your
All
help.
right.
Yep.
You bet. Talk to you soon.
So do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to.
Second.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah, 5 minutes, sit down.
so we have
Just go across the street.
so roll call, Trevor Dursky.
Aye.
Samantha Peterson.
Aye.
Jim Kane.
Aye.
EJ Bell. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Adjourn at 8:23 PM.
Let's have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your turkey, everybody.
They obviously don't.